Okay, my name is Richard Makurizano. Thank you for accepting to have an interview about your learning institution. This interview will be featured in a news article in the category of education to be submitted in partial fulfillment of my Bachelor of Arts course. So it will be submitted as a news article to Griffiths University for the unit called Online News Production. Maybe to begin with, would you like to introduce yourself in as far as your role is at this college is concerned?
My name is Chris Ayton, as you're aware. I'm the principal here, have been since the beginning of 2014.
Thank you.
I have a raft of qualifications. I've completed my Bachelor of Science with honours, major in Materials Science and Chemistry.
Okay.
I have a graduate diploma in education, followed that up with a graduate diploma of computers in education.
Okay.
At one point did a certificate for in workplace training and assessment as part of this, and also have a master's in educational leadership and administration, which I completed in 2012.
Okay.
Worked in a variety of schools, both government and non-government schools. So I think it's 6 or 7 years in government schools, and I'm up to about 12 years in independent schools. So I came to this school. My previous school was a Christian college in Ballarat, where I had the opportunity to learn and grow and develop in school leadership in a very significant way through leading a secondary section and a senior school, and also opportunities in terms of being second in charge.
Okay.
I've come here to see how I might be able to serve in this place.
Okay. Okay. All right. No, thank you very much for that introduction. So, what would you say is the vision of Shepparton Christian College, and maybe when was it founded also?
Yeah, the school's been around since 1997, and started off as a primary school back in those days. Our second Year 12 group went through in 2014, so our first Year 12 was 2013.
Okay.
The vision of the school is really simple. The vision of the school is to basically help young people learn and grow with a very solid biblical worldview integrated into the teaching and learning that they experience through their schooling years. That whole concept of biblical worldview is really crucial to how we operate as a school, and incorporating that into Australian curriculum and into the national curriculum is something that we work very hard to have as a priority in the programs that we run here at our school.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So, what would you say are the achievements of your college in as far as the fields of arts, academia, multimedia, sporting, music, probably politics, medicine, religion, and any other areas?
Yeah, this is an interesting question as I ponder what my response to this question is, because I guess as a very young school, as a school that is still developing, as I've just said, we've had only 2 Year 12 groups move through. We're also a school that is not big on numbers in comparison to a lot of other schools. So when we talk about our achievements in these areas, we do achieve in these areas. We definitely participate and are engaging in sports programs. We have an instrumental music program and a small concert band that we have. We have our students learning in the wide variety of areas and engaging in a wide variety of areas. Some of our students are involved in art competitions in the district. In terms of any of those being particularly spectacular, I'd probably say, well, not really. But our students are very much engaging in all of those areas and learning and growing. If you talk about pathways and destinations as a component to that, our students are coming out of this school with a variety of pathways and options open and available to them. So we've got a couple of students who have headed down to Melbourne this year, one studying law, one studying medicine. We've got other students who this year have picked up jobs around Shepparton. We've got others who are taking a gap year. We have a wide variety of destinations and outcomes for our students in this place. And what's most important in terms of achievement is helping our young people develop their God-given gifts and talents and be using those God-given gifts and talents in this place and beyond. Anything spectacular? I'd probably say nothing that really stands out spectacular, but we are learning and growing and developing young people in a really solid foundation and with some great skills and talents and knowledge.
Okay, all right. And what is your student population like for both primary and secondary?
Yeah, as a prep to 12 school, we have 220 students this year, give or take. It's actually slightly big, more than 220 this year, and that's roughly 70 in the primary and roughly 150 in the secondary. The approximate numbers there.
Okay, all right. Okay. And how big is your teaching staff?
We have 25 odd teaching staff. Again, there's a number of part-timers within that framework, but it's roughly 25 teaching staff. 25,
all right. And how would you describe your teaching staff? What kind of a team do you have? Yeah,
we've got a great team. I would describe them as very much a very talented staff. Quite young. That's something that we appreciate in our staff, the youth and the energy and the enthusiasm that they have, but very much committed and dedicated. Our employment policy is such that they are generally staff who have an active Christian faith, and that's an important part for us and our foundations as a school, is to meeting our vision and our goal in terms of that biblical worldview. And the integration of Christianity into our education here, that is something that is so crucial and important to us. But I could do nothing but praise our staff. They are absolutely a fantastic bunch of people who are working together to achieve a common goal in the education of young people in this place.
Okay, all right. You did mention that it's a Christian school. Would you say, that being a Christian school has had or is probably making an impact in as far as the morality in the lives of your students are concerned?
Absolutely, yeah. That is so crucial and important to us as a school, is to hold those Christian and biblical values, morals, and worldview, again, that term that I'll keep using because it is something that's central to what we do, to have those morals and values very much high on the agenda as we develop our young people, and to be talking to them about where and why we hold these morals and values, that it's not just something that you pick up through being part of society, but for us, the Bible gives us instruction and direction around how we should behave, how we should interact, the decisions that we should make, how we should live our lives, and those sort of things. So that is crucial and central to what we do.
So in terms of enrollment, do you just enroll people from the Christian community or from...
Our enrolment policy has a component to this. One of the things around our enrolment policy and our vision and goal is that one of the things we want to do is, if we want to really be able to impact the young people in our school, we need to be getting a consistent message between the home, the school and the church. And so one of the things that is part of our enrolment policy is that in order to achieve that, we need at least one parent involved in their local church, their local Christian church. So for us, that means we have a wide variety of students enrolling in this school, some coming from the majority coming from the evangelical Protestant denominations, but we also have some students who would also come from Catholic backgrounds. We have some students who come from the Christian Orthodox background as well, who choose to enrol within our school. And so long as there's at least one parent engaging in their local church, then we're quite comfortable to be working with those young people. But we do explain that our particular focus is on having a biblical and Christian education for all of our young people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Interesting. So as a private institution, how do you fund the school?
We have two main income streams. One is that there is government contribution to the education of young people in independent schools, and so that is something that we want to acknowledge, and we do appreciate that we have that contribution from the government. The other, because the government do not fund us to cover all costs of education, we do require parent contributions, so we have a fee-based enrolment requirement. That is that there is a proportion of fees that need to be paid as part of enrolment.
Okay. And are there any challenges that you might be facing in the delivery of your institution's learning objectives?
This is another interesting question, because I sort of go, the classic answer, I guess, to this is that finance is always a limiting factor, and if we had more money, we would have the ability to fund more resources, to fund more staff, and to be able to improve in those areas. But I guess that's that's something that's part of life, and we would love to continue to seek financial integrity within our school, which we have, but to seek to have a higher level of government contribution would be absolutely wonderful. The Gonski area, the Gonski funding system is something that we would have loved to have seen introduced, as that provides, I believe, a more equitable funding system than the current system does. However, when we just think about the whole idea of our school's learning objectives, the main thing there, and it's just part and parcel of our job, is to continue to engage our young people in their learning, keep them engaged throughout their secondary years, giving them a really strong foundation. That's the challenge that faces us each and every day. That's the challenge that we live in and the challenge that we thrive on as an educational institution. And we want to continue to be excellent at that and learn and grow in those areas.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. So what message would you like to leave with the general public? Any final remarks?
Basically, I guess my final remarks, excuse me,
It's okay.
my final remarks will be around the Shepparton Christian College, as we've talked about, is very much a school that wants to see biblical worldview integrated in everything that we do. We want to see our young people grow to know Jesus Christ as Lord and Saviour, and education to be one component in that growth and learning and development of our young people. But we also at the same time want to see our young people have really strong, solid academic outcomes as part of their learning, growth and development as they move through their schooling. So those things together are absolutely crucial and important to who we are as a school and what we want to see happen, and we will continue to work hard at making sure that we are equipping and developing young people to be leaders in whatever God calls them to. So it's probably my closing remark, I guess, would be that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chris Ayton. My name is Richard Mafuduranwa. It's been nice interviewing you. Thank you.
Thanks, Richard.
Okay. I can turn it up.
Was that appropriate?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much.